I don't think you're ever alone forever. So, there's always, competitors will always come into the market. I think there was a couple big trends on our side. So the first is that there was this huge growth of these e-commerce companies which were going directly to the end consumers. So just like Endy, Sleep Country bought them not because they were like a really nice marketed product, because they were actually stealing significant market share from the incumbents. In the US, Mattress Firm, the largest mattress retailer, declared Chapter 11 in December because of the rise of like Casper and Nectar and all of these different bed-in-a-box companies. And it's because these e-commerce companies have created simpler product lines. They have like one or two things that are really good. Let's be honest, who really wanted to lie on 25 mattresses that another 25,000 people had lied on the year before, and then make this like somehow a decision? So, and then they created an end-to-end relationship with the customer. So you weren't selling your product through a retailer. I think that was the first big trend. The second one is that as venture capital has gotten more and more competitive, what used to be VCs would just put money into truly risk companies. Like, I'm going to develop a crazy piece of AI that no one's ever built, and we're going to put $20 million in, and it's either going to work or it's not going to work. Or we're going to build a crazy drug, and this is like true risk capital. Because the venture capital category got so big and bloated, investors were looking for other places to find yield. And so what made a lot of sense is to invest in all these e-commerce companies that were showing if they put $10 into ad spend, they got $100 in sales. And it took a lot of the risk away. But it wasn't such a good deal for these founders. And then the third thing that really culminated is the fact that before this, I could have never done this because the data sources didn't exist. Like, truly, it's been the last 2 or 3 years where platforms were large enough to do. Shopify today has 700,000 merchants. Plaid supports 90% of bank accounts in the US, so we can get a direct data access feed from them. You look at whatever it is, X number of millions of advertisers on Facebook. Now that those platforms are big enough, you can actually build on top of them. If the platforms were small, you would have never been able to do this. You could have never done this if people were sending you spreadsheets of their data and being like, let's figure. Then you look like a conventional investment fund, which is a series of associates that make individual decisions. And so, I think that was the biggest thing. And then banks feel very scared of funding marketing. And you guys have some amazing marketing speakers. But again, marketing for all the years before this has been, I know I'm wasting half of my marketing budget, I just don't know what half it is. And so there was very low tracking on if your sales were coming from that billboard or the magazine ad or the television commercial, or it was the combination of three that was actually working. But today, with all these direct response ad, that person clicked on my AdWord when they searched, I want a new mattress, and they came to my website and they bought a new mattress. And so you have a very good sense of what those marketing costs are. And so that was kind of the other, so those were the three things that allowed us to build a business at this moment in time with this kind of scale. Because banks were super scared to fund anyone's marketing. We want to only fund people's marketing. And so that was a big paradigm shift, I think, for a lot of people to see.